Good morning, traders, and this is my Forex setups for today. So, pretty much only four pairs that we're going to be looking at this morning, and it is public holiday in the USA this afternoon. So, I think your opportunities are going to be during the European session. Once London closes, I would not advise being in the market. Rather go sit down and have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or something and just enjoy life because it's going to just frustrate you. Anyway. So I'm going to start off with the USD Japanese yen, so the dollar yen, and I've got quite a few dollar pairs, well, $2 pairs that I'm watching at the moment. So now last week I spoke about this inverse head and shoulders. That's still on offer as far as I'm concerned, and we've had this little bit of a breakout here. So let me just zoom in a bit so you can see. You can see we had what looked like could be a flat bottom triangle or a wedge. We've had a gap up at the moment. At this, we've gapped up, we've come down to test the break inside there, and we're now moving back upside. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a breakout, and I am definitely looking for longs on this pair. So we are looking for a bit of dollar strength, and that's kind of the setup that I'm looking at the moment. If we just get down to the 4-hour, you'll see above the 150 EMA, above the 20 moving averages, we had a crossover here in a consolidation pattern. Oscillators are sort of grouped in the area and starting to cross over, indicating a move to the upside. And that's kind of what I'm looking for in this pair. So just getting down to the hour, give you some indication of what I'm looking for. I'm actually looking for this kind of pattern. Okay, so you can see down was a low, and then I closed above this bar. Okay, that's a valid entry for a long at the moment. But I don't like doing it during the Asian session, so I'm going to wait for another entry from the European session. Okay, that's definitely what I'm looking at right now, and because you see, we've had the breakout, we've had the pullback to retest the trend line. Okay, so that's something that I'm looking at, and if we just come back to the 8-hour, I am looking for a reasonably strong move of around 1,800 pips. Okay, so what I'm looking for basically, if I'm correct, that's our measured move up there, yeah. So what I'm looking for is a move back to 109.723. Okay, so kind of pointless giving you levels of what you're going to buy in because you're going to need to watch this, put it on your watch list this morning and just keep an eye on it, because what you're expecting is a bit of volatility at the European Open, and you'll probably even be able to get an entry off the 15-minute, to be honest. I want to see if we've got some examples I can give you. Yeah, so you can see here, offer level, pin bar, inside bar, half decent. There's some pin bars, break above, there is an entry, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. That's definitely another valid entry. You can see pin bar, inside bar, inside bar, inside bar, another valid entry. So all I'll be looking for is engulfing patterns, okay, inside bars, engulfing patterns, or pin bars. Those are the three price action structures that I'll be looking for in that pair. Okay, so that's definitely looking for longs on the USD Japanese yen. Euro dollar, waiting for this all week last week, so basically waiting for the pullback. Let's just get this range in. There's our range. This is the middle of the range, and if this holds, I am anticipating a bit of a break to the upside. Okay, now it doesn't quite make sense with the dollar strength theory, but nevertheless, we just got to trade what we see at the moment. And this pullback onto this area of support is what I'm watching right now. Okay, warning bell is the crossover here of the moving average. We've got the 20 crossing over the 150. That is a bearish signal. So in other words, what it does look like is if we break through this area, we're looking to test the bottom of the range. Okay, in other words, this is a line in the sand right now. And if we just get on the 4-hour, you'll see what I mean. 4-hour, the picture's a little bit different. I've got a grouping happening on my oscillators. I'm on the 150 EMA right here. So what I'm going to do here is that is my trade area. Okay, so a break above this structure gets me long for the top of the range. A break below this structure gets me short for the bottom of the range. Okay, the last thing I want to do here is I just want to put that in as well. You can see 1, 2, 3 touches on that. So I would expect, now if we do drop to the bottom, I'm just trying to find a level that this will happen. It doesn't look like there is much here. Maybe on the hour. Yeah, not much on offer here. Okay, so I'll use this inside tail here. It's not quite what I would want to do. I'd be rather look at something like that. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is a break out of this. You're going to find a level and an intersecting level. So the trend line plus a horizontal support line, and you'd expect the buyers to come off there. Then I'd expect them to come back and test the bottom of the breakout. Okay, and the breakout is going to be at 1.08856. 1.00856. If that formed a lower low, then you're probably going to get a short there to break through this trend line. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on the whole scenario. Really 50-50 on the scenario. So, in other words, I'm definitely would like to see a break one way or another. What does interest me is that this area here is a pretty strong area. It was the area of resistance, this bottom level here of 108842. Very strong area of resistance. You can see how we bumped our head on it, bumped our head, bumped our head, bumped our head, bumped our head. And now we could be using it as support. Okay, but the trigger is definitely for the long has to be on the break up here. There's nothing in between the two levels. Okay, so break to the upside, 109091, break to the downside, 108842. Draw this diagonal trend line in so you're aware of it, because I'm not going to take the break. I want to see a bounce off here and a retest, because what you may find is a bounce here, fake out, and then move to the opposite direction. Okay, so this trend line is fairly strong. Actually 4 touches on it, so that is fairly strong as well. And you've got a pretty strong area of resistance. So in other words, you could also just bounce around in this area like this until eventually touching the trend line and then getting a long in. Okay, so yeah, just be wary of that. So that the short, I'd want to see a break and a retest of the structure before getting short. The long's pretty simple. Break above here, 15-minute retest of this level. I'm long, stop below the structure. Okay, and this structure is pretty much 300 odd points. So it's a half decent trade. Okay, the other one that I'm looking at is Euro Japanese yen, and Japanese yen is looking interesting, to say the least. So similar structure here. You can see inverse head and shoulders or cup and handle, whichever way you want to look at it, but also a pretty significant trend break we haven't tested. Okay, the moving averages are still bearish on the 8 hour. Nothing really in there. The only thing that I am watching is this area of support. It was fairly strong resistance here. It was fairly strong support as well. So these two areas is what I'm looking for. So the upper area is 117.139 and the bottom area 116.864. So that's pretty much the area that I'm watching at the moment. Now, the thing that is interesting me is we have tested this area, and why am I watching it? I have a double bottom here. Okay, in my eyes, it's a double bottom. Okay, there's my first leg low, second leg low. So it was my first attempt to break lower, came up, formed a higher low, and now I've formed a higher high above the structure. I've come to test this area. That to me means breakout, and my target is up in this area of 119431. In actual fact, I'm just going to fine tune that a little bit onto this area of resistance here. So that is 119.298. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm looking for at the moment. If I come down to the hour, you will see, let's just leave that in and we can delete the square. As you can see, I've already had a double bottom in this area. That was on Friday. We've had a gap up, down. 20 is above the 150, so trend is up at the moment. And if we actually break this down from sort of a half-hour time frame, you could argue, I suppose you can't really argue anything. There's nothing really to do except I want to see us flip this from resistance into support. So at the moment, 117.317 is resistance, as you can see. Look at my oscillators. Okay, that's neutral, but my stochastics are crossing over far apart. This is structure. It's actually looking pretty interesting, but stick to my own rules here and not take a trade. So if this was during the European session, I'd be looking for a long on the break of here with a pretty tight stop below here. That's what I'd be doing. Okay, but anyway, we'll wait for European Open and then have a look at this. This is definitely something to pay attention to. And the last one is the pound Aussie dollar. So pound Aussie dollar has been a pretty straightforward short for quite some time. Every pullback is an opportunity to short. We are in an area of resistance. You can see there. Okay, if I keep swinging back, you can see quite a bit of interaction at this level, which is an area that I definitely do want to watch. So we've bounced off it already, so that's 1.84998. Okay, if we just drop down to the lower time frames, you'll see a little bit of nothing really, no signals or triggers or anything at the moment, but there was a area of support, was resistance, and then we're sort of hovering above it. Okay, so that's always a warning bell that I need to start looking at the next level higher. And the only next level high that we have is all the way up here at 1.88759. So it does look to me like this is starting to brew into an opportunity potentially for a turn, but obviously I'm going to want to see a confirmation of that turn on the 8 hour before I commit to it. Alternatively, it's a short-term rally. You see what I mean? This was the previous swing low, and then we're above it, and then below it, and above it, and below it, and then on it. So this is obviously the short-term line in the sand for today, which is 1.86308. And if you look at my stochastics and my stochastic MACD here, we're on the zero line, which means trend is still up, looking for a crossover. We've got a crossover here on the hour. So this does look like is a bit of a rally coming up. But I think it's worthwhile just paying attention to this one. You could be getting a pretty big reversal. Okay, obviously we're going to need to see some higher highs and some higher lows, but that is what looks like is brewing. I don't think, it doesn't look like we're going to get much lower than where we are at the moment. Okay, that's kind of just the setup that I'm watching here. So not looking for longs as of yet. Definitely would be looking to short this thing higher up, and also just to see what transpires with the moving averages on the hour. And we could just get another move up here and then move to the downside, or alternatively, it could break up into this area here, 1.88759, which is where I would be short again. Okay, those are the four that I'm watching at the moment. Nothing really else to watch. Gold is also sort of half-heartedly on my chart as well, but we're consolidating at the moment, back pretty much right back to the breakouts. So I'm sitting my hands with this one for a bit longer as well, until we see what transpires. Anyway, that's enough for today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch you later. Cheers for now.